their feet right now. Curry launches a three-pointer, puts it in. Steph Curry from downtown.
On the eve of his 37th birthday, the great Stephen Curry made history once again, becoming the first player ever to sink 4,000 career three-pointers, but no one was shocked. He spent over a decade making the game his own, breaking records with the kind of ease most players reserve for warm-up shots. The real question isn't what he did, but how he became the greatest shooter basketball has ever seen. What is he doing that no one else has managed to replicate? Is it the nonstop grind? The insane shooting drills? The laser focus before every game? Let's break it down. What makes Stephen Curry the three-point god? Before Stephen Curry, the NBA was a different beast. Teams were built around dominant big men, mid-range assassins, and physical inside scorers. The three-pointer was a weapon, but not the weapon. Coaches saw it as a situational tool, not something to base an entire offense around. Most players didn't even attempt them unless they had to. Then Curry came along and shattered that reality. This guy didn't just shoot threes, he weaponized them. Pulled up from 30 feet like it was a free throw, launched contested shots off the dribble, running full speed, hand and face, and the crazy part is he made them consistently. Suddenly, the math of basketball changed. 3 is worth more than 2, but only if you hit them at an insane clip, and Curry did. Defenders had never seen anything like it. Do you pick him up at half court, fight through every screen, try to trap him? It didn't matter. He always found space, and when teams finally overcommitted, he torched them with his passing, dishing no-look dimes to cutters and open shooters. His game stretched defenses to their absolute limit. Then came the ripple effect. Teams stopped chasing mid-range shots and started launching threes in record numbers. Coaches built offenses around spacing, ball movement, and perimeter shooting. Centers, yes, centers, start stepping out to the arc. The game sped up. The traditional post play became a thing of the past. Guys who couldn't shoot, suddenly they were liabilities. Look at the numbers. When Curry entered the league in 2009, teams averaged 18 three-point attempts per game. In 2024, almost 35. That's nearly double in just over a decade. And it's not just guards firing away. Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic, even Brook Lopez. 7-footers are launching deep shots because they have to. And it's not just the NBA. Walk into any gym, any park, anywhere in the world, and you'll see kids pulling up from the logo like it's normal. It's not, but Curry made it that way. And it's because he's a basketball cheat code. His shot is a mechanical masterpiece, a weapon so deadly that defenses break down just trying to contain it. Other elite shooters have existed, but no one has ever combined speed, precision, range, and movement like Curry. So what makes his shot unstoppable? Most shooters need a second to set their feet, gather the ball, and fire, but Curry doesn't have that problem. His release is faster than a blink, just 0.4 seconds. That's the quickest in NBA history. Defenders barely have time to react, let alone contest. A hand in his face doesn't matter. Closing out hard is just too late. By the time they get there, the ball is already splashing through the net. Another thing is that a normal three-pointer is 23 feet and 9 inches. That's where most shooters operate, but Curry's range extends 10, 15 feet beyond that comfortably. He pulls up from the logo, half court, even full court, like it's nothing. And these aren't lucky shots, they're in rhythm, on target, and back to back. Teams are forced to guard him the second he crosses half court, completely throwing off their defense schemes. That's why defenders can't keep up, because shooting is one thing, getting open is another. Most great shooters, Ray Allen, Reggie Miller, Klay Thompson, move well off the ball, but Curry never stops running. He'll pass the ball and immediately sprint around multiple screens, cutting and circling until he shakes his defender. By the fourth quarter, defenders are gassed, and Curry is still moving at full speed. The greatest shooters in history usually rely on teammates to set them up. Curry doesn't need that luxury. He has elite ball handling, allowing him to create his own shot whenever he wants. Step backs, side steps, pull-ups off the dribble, it's all effortless. And his footwork is perfect. He's always on balance, always in control, no matter where he is on the floor. But the question is, can anyone replicate it? Probably not. Plenty of players try to copy Curry's deep threes, but no one can do it like him, because his shooting isn't just about distance, it's about precision, mechanics, and conditioning. He spent years perfecting his shot, fine-tuning every detail until it became automatic. That's why he isn't only a goddamn great shooter, he's the three-point god. But he wasn't born this way. The impossible shots, the quick release, the logo threes, that's not only talent, that's an obsession. What fans see on game game night, the effortless shooting, the ridiculous footwork, the ice-cold clutch moments is the product of an insane work ethic that few players in NBA history can match. Curry's workouts are the stuff of legend. He doesn't just take a few hundred jumpers and call it a day, he makes 500 shots daily from every imaginable spot on the floor. Catch and shoot, off the dribble, off balance, contested, nothing is off limits. He even runs drills with a heavy basketball, forcing his arms to work harder so that when he switches back to a regular ball, his shot feels even smoother. And then there are the one-handed drills. Just think of shooting NBA range threes using just one hand. No guide hand, no balance help, just pure wrist strength and precision. Curry does it routinely. By the time a game rolls around, a regular jumper feels automatic. If you've ever seen Curry warm up before a game, you know it's must-watch TV. He starts with close-range shots, gradually moving back until he's casually draining threes from half court like it's nothing. Behind the back passes, trick shots from the tunnel, off the glass, no-look floaters, all in a day's work. But it's not just for show. These drills sharpen his touch, his rhythm, his confidence. Shooting is just as much mental as it is physical, and Curry is wired differently. He visualizes shots before games, picturing the ball leaving his hands, watching it drop through the net in his mind before he even steps on the court. That's why no moment is too big for him. He's already made the shot 1,000 times in his head. Stephen Curry is the greatest because he outworks, outthinks, and outtrains everyone. But that's only half the story, because talent and hard work can only take you so far. What truly separates the greats from the legends? Mindset. Curry is mentally untouchable. Fear is non-existent. Hesitation is gladly not in his DNA. Most players think twice before pulling up from 30 feet. Steph barely even thinks once. His confidence is so ingrained that he can miss 10 straight shots and still believe the next one is dropping. That's why even in his worst slumps, he keeps firing. No fear, no doubt, no second guessing. You see it in the way he plays with pure conviction. He knows that no matter how bad a game is going, one good shot can flip everything. And then there's the famous "I saw it go in" moment. You know the one. He pulls up, lets it fly, and before the ball even reaches the rim, he's already turned around, walked away, celebrating. That's not cockiness. That's knowing you're the greatest shooter alive. But the craziest thing is that at 37 years old, he's still dominating. Most players hit their 30s and start breaking down, but Curry's still running circles around defenders and pulling up from 30 feet like it's a layup, all because of conditioning. Steph never stops moving. He averages about 2.5 miles per game, constantly weaving through defenders, sprinting off screens, and hunting for open looks. No one runs more than him. Defenders get tired. He doesn't. Then there's the injury factor. Unlike other superstars, Curry hasn't been derailed by major injuries. Sure, he had ankle problems early in his career, but he rebuilt his body from the ground up, strengthened his core, improved his balance, changed his training methods. Now, he's one of the most durable superstars in the league, and he's adjusted his game too. Less wasted movement, more efficiency. He doesn't rely on pure speed as much anymore. He's smarter, sharper, deadlier. The legs should be gone by now, but somehow, he's still out here pulling from the logo like it's 2015. Now, this is where the debate gets interesting. Is Curry just the greatest shooter ever, or is he one of the greatest players of all time, period? Because let's be clear, he's so much more than just a shooter. Two-time MVP, the first ever unanimous MVP, four-time champion, finals MVP, the leader of one of the greatest dynasties in NBA history. But his impact goes even beyond that. He changed the entire sport. As we discussed in the start of our video, only because of him, the game revolves around the three-point line. Even centers are launching threes because of him. Kids at every level are pulling up from deep, trying to be like Steph. Years from now, when you see high school players casually draining half-court shots, you'll know exactly who to thank. What Steph Curry has done is not normal. Most players see their numbers dip as they age, but Curry's still raining threes like he's in his prime. No one in NBA history has combined range, speed, precision, and volume like this. Logo shots, off-balance threes, contested daggers with defenders draped all over him. It doesn't matter. He hits them all. Just look at the highlights, the buzzer beaters, the heat checks, the nights where he drops 50 like he's in a pickup game. Other players shoot threes. Steph Curry built his kingdom on them. And the scariest part, he's still not done. So maybe they were right all along. There's only one three-point god, and that's Stephen Curry.
Butler bounces to Curry. Oh, ridiculous! A cheat code!